So I've never done like a plant tour before. So I figured I would do that because I've got some plants and it's just coming up on the end of winter. So some of them are looking okay, some of them are looking kind of sad. But I'm gonna try to show you some stuff. What's going on? Okay, first thing is kind of a little difficult to show because it's so huge and there's really bad lighting. But this is my Kalanchoe luciae, or I don't know how to pronounce that, but it is a really, really tall blooming dude, otherwise known as a like flapjack plant. It's pretty impressive, and it's been blooming basically all winter, and there's still newish blooms on it. Like this one here is going to bloom, and this one's a fresh bloom, and these ones are old crusty blooms. Oops. And yeah, it goes all the way up there. The actual like height is pretty tall because I'm pretty tall, and it goes over my head when held up straight. And then the pot down here, these leaves are dying, which they're meant to die. And down here, there's supposed to be plantlets. So far, I don't think there are plantlets, but there might be. This is what the base looks like. That's supposed to happen when it's done flowering, which obviously it hasn't. So yeah, hopefully we get some plantlets, and hopefully I need to water it, and hopefully it can go outside soon, actually. Okay, then we're gonna start with these bottom shelf here. This is my like prop thing. A cat dug a hole because they're assholes. But yeah, there's some my baby this one stupid Christmas cactus that is like rooting everywhere but where it's supposed to root. It was originally higher up, and it broke at the bottom. Some of the roots broke at the bottom, and it just started rooting everywhere, so I unpotted it and put it in here. The same thing happened with this guy, which is a crassula type thing, and oops, I just broke a piece of it, but you know, that one, the bottom broke a little bit. I added a separate pot, so I just put it in here. This guy is getting pretty big. He's a Kalanchoe. I can't remember the name, but they're fuzzies. These got the fuzzies. Here's another fuzzy dude. This is a little euphorbia thing. Or no, it's an echeveria. It's a type of echeveria. The painted whatever. I'm not really good with like names of those ones, because a lot of them I get that they're just they aren't labeled. So then I have a bunch of jades. This is just a mess. Like none of this is organized, but I'll organize it in spring. Yay. So then this guy is what you would call this one. He's kind of looking sad currently, but I'm just trying to like keep him from getting hit by the door here when it opens. This is either an Aptenia cordifolia, or could also possibly be a mezzo, which I don't really know the scientific name of that, but they're not the same thing. But I have no idea what they are, what the difference is, or which one it is. And currently it's growing really erratically because it doesn't get enough light. But yeah, I like this plant, so hopefully it survives, and it can be big and viney. And this is my mom's aloe. It's got some pups. I don't know, this was the pup of an aloe that my dad currently has at work, so I don't know, it's just kind of, it's an aloe, I don't know. I don't even know if these guys are still alive, but they're little baby jades that I all separated. One of them's dead, I think. Maybe there's only one in there, I don't know. So then next we got this shelf. It has 3 plants on it. So the first one is my Christmas cactus, which is still blooming. It bloomed it's technically a Thanksgiving cactus. It's the Schlumbergera truncata. So, Thanksgiving cactus. But it bloomed in Thanksgiving. and then bloomed again in February, and is still blooming. And it's a little stressed right now, and I don't know what these little spots are. I'm not sure, but it's telling me something's going on, because see, like, the red, that's not usually typical unless it gets a lot of light, and it doesn't get a lot of light here, and it doesn't need watered, so there's something going on. I think possibly a fungus, I don't really know, but this is not normal. At least I don't think it's normal, these little spots. But yeah, it's still blooming, and it does have the spots like everywhere. I don't know if they're just natural, but like this is kind of concerning me. Like, it's very droopy. But I'm gonna trim it back in a few weeks once it's done blooming, and then we'll see what happens, because it's kind of worrying me. Like this, see more right here. I don't really know what that is, and I haven't been able to find what it is, but, you know, if anyone has any ideas, that'd be cool. This guy is my super crazy, stretchy, etiolated Graptopetellum. I don't know what kind exactly, but this was my first succulent. There's a cat. Yeah, it was my first succulent, so I've cut it back a few times, so if you can see in here, this got the, this is the original, like, stem there, and, like, it does look better when you trim it back. I might not trim it back this year, though. It just takes up, like, more space. And, ow, you little bitch. Stop. Okay, this one's really hard to get, like, a clear, really bad lighting, and it's really, really droopy currently. It's just not getting enough light in here. Most of my succulents are just not great. Some of them deal better than others, and I think some of them need some repositioning. But this one is a Crassula falcata, and it's getting very droopy. It's not meant to look like that. There's a cat behind my ear, so he's just meowing. If you see they got stuff at its base, and he's got stuff growing there, and he's pretty tall, actually. When I first got him, he was about the size of the babies at his base. I'm pretty impressed with how he's doing. I mean, I don't like the droopiness, but I think he will somewhat perk up. Oh my god, this, like, cat. What do you want? So, ignoring the cat, we've got this shelf here. This probably has the most on it. I've got my baby jades in the front. These are, I propagated them last September, so they're basically a year and a half old. They're not babies anymore, they're fully grown. This one's got kind of a cool habit where, like, it's got like three down here and one big one. I like it. I don't know. I just kind of let this one grow. This one I kind of selected for, I might remove this too, but I kind of selected for more of a tree. And it's just got these really giant paddly leaves. And it's been growing pretty well inside. I mean, I didn't notice too much drooping. This one also, not too much drooping. I had to remove some of the rocks because it was not working out so well, but, you know, yeah, I like them. So then this guy here is a Kalanchoe. I have some variety. It's the fuzzy one. I know that's really specific, but it's fuzzy. Look how fuzzy it is. Can't get to focus. Yeah, look how fuzzy. And I really like it, and it's been growing really nice. It's a little bit, it fell over, and it's a little bit also kind of damaged and dirty and has some scrapes, and it's a little stretched, but it's going. And this is a sedum. It's either a Sedum nusparinium or a Sedum adolphi. Probably nusparinium, even though it was Lusbaumerianum. Lusbaumerianum is the word. But it's probably a Nusbaumerianum, oh my god. Even though it was labeled a Sedum adolphi golden glow or something. It's just way more likely to be a Nusbaumerianum. And he's looking pretty good. In the spring, this guy turns yellowish. and you can kind of see some of that. I really love the veins. This guy was my first prop that I didn't start it myself, but I found it in a plant at the greenhouse where I worked, and I started growing it. And when I got it, it was about like so tiny, and now it's so big, and I love it. And hopefully it grows even more this spring. So this one is kind of doing poorly, sort of. It's my mom's bonsai that she gave me. It's a Portulacaria afra, which is also known as baby jade, and they're really cute. I mean, he's kind of wrinkly. I think he needs a bigger pot. This pot is a little too small for him now. Either that or he just needs some serious trimming back, which I probably will do. He just doesn't get enough light or enough water. So yeah. Then I've got these little guys over here. This is my orchid, which it's blooming. It has all these buds. It's not quite yet. Sorry. It's not quite like yet ready to bloom. And one of them did shrivel up and kind of fall off. It's like right here. But I have high hopes that it's going to. It was originally like this. I didn't recognize the flower stalk. I've never had an orchid before, and it was kind of shoved under the mulch, so that's why it's growing down like this. But see, look, it's got little yay. And I got this in I can't remember when I got it. I got it in September, I want to say. I got it for 99 cents at Walmart, the clearance, and it was just done blooming. So I know the flowers are like white and purple. So I'm excited for that. I hope it works out. Then my last two on this shelf, I've got an aloe and a little pachyphytum thing, or whatever, however you pronounce those. And he's looking a little stretched out. He, is kind of, I keep having to turn him because he keeps wanting to turn towards the light, and it's just blah. And then this guy, he looks a little stressed, a little bit. I think he might need a bigger pot and watered more frequently, but yeah. So then the last shelf is like the most poorly lit shelf ever of all time, but this here is my jade, my big jade, which is pretty big. I mean, it's pretty big and it's pretty nice looking. I like this like curve, like this was natural. So when I first got this, it was in a 2-inch pot actually. So like this is like 2 inches around now, and it was probably about half of this when I first got it. So it was in like probably like this thick at the bottom in a 2-inch pot, and like it was laying on the ground. So all of it had this much height basically lying on the ground in a 2-inch pot, so all the growth went this way up, and it kind of makes it look super cool. Yeah, I mean, I love this one. This is a bird's nest. But yeah, this is really bad lighting, but I hope you can kind of see it. I really love it, and I hope it turns a nice pretty color again this spring. So then this guy is another little Portulacaria afra, just a little baby bonsai. It's cute, and it's in this cute little pot, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. And this last one is my shitty Dracania from Walmart that I'm not taking care of very well, and it's dying, and I'm probably gonna remove it from this cool like birdcage pot because I want to put something cooler in it, and this is garbage. But yeah, whatever. So yeah, that was my kind of like current garden tour thing going on. I have some other plants, or one other plant in another room which may or may not make it. That's my ficus, and so far it's looking like it might get warmer a little earlier than usual, but it's been snowing today, so I really doubt that. But hopefully, usually most of my plants will go outside, except for the Christmas cactus, I think, and some of the other ones. But yeah, most of them are succulents, so most of them do better outside in like mostly bright but indirect sunlight or bright sunlight. they don't really like the winter, a lot of them, so I just kind of have to roll with it. So hopefully they look better come like July. But anyways, I'll see ya.